All right, so it's Memorial Day weekend. Today is the day. It's a holiday. The phones are quiet. Nobody's around. And it's just me in the shop. I got up early before the rest of the family and came to the shop and started prepping my cars. I think today's going to be a painting day. Now, this is my No Frills Nash. It's a 54 Nash Rambler Airflight. It's kind of in a genre between Nash and Rambler. It's a pretty cool car. It's got the front skirts on the front wheels there, or front fenders. This car is ready for paint. It's in primer. It's an epoxy SPI primer. It's been primed for a while, and you've probably seen it around. And unfortunately, we're not painting this car today. So hope I didn't get your hopes up. But we are painting some other stuff, and I wanted to kind of go through that. I got my fan set up. I have this corner of the shop kind of dedicated as sort of parking, kind of a maintenance booth, but also I can drop these curtains above here. They're rolled up and make a paint booth. I didn't need to drop the curtains today because I'm not doing a whole car yet. We'll get to that. But I do want to show you the progress that I've made, and I'm pretty excited. These are the bumpers that are hanging here, the yellow things for the DKW. I've been working on those bumpers for years. They are just crumpled and bent and rusted, and the rear is a three-piece. In other words, that piece there is the license plate, and these are the corner pieces. They're hanging here for the rear. And somebody hooked a tractor up to the car at one point in time and just twisted the heck out of the bumper. This is the front bumper. Really hard to find and so thin and hard to handle, and so many coats of paint and so much time. I just can't fathom it. That's why it's taken me 9 years since I've painted the car to actually get the bumpers on the car. I just was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So I've been working on that. Again, this is my paint booth area. It's a bit messy. Here's my mixing table. I have a wash tub there, and I can use the sprayer to wet down the floor to minimize the dust. I also have a panel of fans which are running right here. You can see them there. They're filtered, and they pull air from the main body of the shop and push it out the door. And I also have another exhaust fan over there. I have also been working hard on the Honda Z600 wheels. They are now red. So all these parts here have been blasted, cleaned, wire wheeled, then primed, and then painted. And they're waiting to get cleared. So I'm going to clear these wheels and clear these bumpers as a batch. I might get to that this afternoon. And I want to show you what's going on outside the shop, because it is sort of a cool, it's not raining, but it could rain any minute. And part of the reason I'm here at the shop is nobody wanted to go camping because it's too cold and cool, which is perfect for painting. So I'm detailing the trunk lid for the N600, and I've got the car out here, which I told you it was in final primer, and it was. It was in what's called slick sand, which is the third coat of polyester sprayable. It's basically a Bondo, but it comes out of a gun and it hardens. And then once you have that sprayed on there, you can find your highs and low spots. I don't know if you guys are familiar with how that works. You can take your like your 3M powder here. This is what's this called again? Dry coat. That's right. It's called the dry coat or guide coat. It's a little bit of powder. You put it on like a woman's blush brush, and you put it on the car like this, leaving a black mark. And then you take your longboard with like 180 or 220, and you sand in a cross hatch pattern, and you can find your highs and your lows. And you can see this door is pretty flat, but I did have a high spot there. You can see the buff primer coming through there, and there. This is the third time I've done it. I really want this car straight, and it's just a lot of work. You can see that when the primer goes on, it leaves a bit of a texture. It's sort of a corduroy. It's thick. You can see all these little dots, or maybe you can't. You got to sand all that off. So what I do is I get the car flat like that, to where I know where the high spots and low spots are, take care of them. You can't go through to bare metal, otherwise you got to reprime. And then you take your fancy dancy sander, like I just got this. This is so cool. This is a 7-inch round electric Sumake low vibration dual orbiting sander, so it's a DA. In other words, the sanding pad makes an oscillating motion, and it flattens the car as well. I love this sander. It's electric. You don't have to run the compressor all the time. It saves on your electric bill, and it's really easy on your hands because it doesn't vibrate. Let's see if I can turn it on for you. Is that plugged in? No, it's not plugged in. It's got digital control, but it has such low vibration. I was getting carpal tunnel or repetitive motion syndrome in my forearms from the air-powered sander because it's rough. It just vibrates so much that I would lose my feeling in my fingers. This one is beautiful, and it will save my hands for working. So let's walk around this car. You can see my high and low spots. Mostly those are high spots that I've knocked down. There was a dent here that I filled, got that fixed. I mean, every time you go around a car flattening out panels, you find stuff. Now right here, you can see there's a high spot, and that is metal. I've got to knock that down and do probably a little patch on that. There was a high spot there. This door, there's a little bit of metal showing there. A low spot here. It just goes and goes and goes. When you take a car like this that had been sitting under a briar bush for 27 years and it was basically crumpled like a beer can, you've got to uncrumple it. So you can't see the Yamaha FZR engine because I've got it papered up, but I'm going to be painting the jambs today and the underhood, the window sills, all the fender lips on the inside, and then we'll see if we can get a sealer coat on the outside that's tinted to match the car. And again, I'm not giving away the secret. So it takes so much time. I've already got, I've got 3 hours into this thing just today. It's barely 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're just going to keep working. But I wanted to show you what was going on and some of the tools that we use here on our free day. Even though it's a holiday, it's not really a free day, but in my mind, this is what I'd like to be doing. So it's a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. I can't wait to get these bumpers on that DKW. It'll just look so much better. All the chrome trim goes in all these holes. It's going to look fantastic. And you're probably tired of me jabbing about my bumpers. So thanks for checking in. I'll catch you on the next video. And you can stay updated with everything that's going on, especially with this little Honda. Hopefully we have some color on it next time you see it. Thanks for watching.